Hi, this is Grandma Lori. Today's story is Sneaky Pete and the Peanut Butter. I wonder if those birds are flying around or flying away, Sneaky Pete asked himself. He was ready to jump into action as soon as they left, but didn't want to get hurt doing it. He was a very sneaky squirrel after all. After Pete saw that the birds had flown away, he jumped over the fence and approached the seed. "Wait a minute," he said. There was a new smell. "What is that? It smells so lovely." Pete approached the pile of birdseed on the ground under the bird feeder to get a closer smell. Ooh, that smell was heavenly. He dipped his front paw into the birdseed to find it wasn't all seed. There was something sticky underneath. He drew his paw back and sniffed. He was shocked. It smelled so good. He just had to see what it tasted like. He reached in and took a very small sample. Ooh, that is so wonderful, Pete said. He dipped his paw in again, took a slightly bigger pawful, and put it into his mouth. "It's even sticky in my mouth, but it's oh so good." Pete was hooked. He took another big pawful, but as he was going to put it into his mouth, he realized the inside of his mouth was getting sticky. He really didn't care though, he was in heaven. Pete decided he just couldn't get enough using his paw, so he looked around for an empty acorn to use as a scoop. "This'll do the trick," he said as he found just the right size. Pete scooped up a big chunk of the sticky stuff along with a bunch of birdseed. He already had quite a mouthful of birdseed sticking to the sticky stuff, but he didn't care. "I'll just have one more scoop," he said. As he raised the acorn to his mouth, he realized, oh no, he couldn't open his mouth. What happened? It was the sticky stuff. He had stuffed his mouth so full of it that the birdseed stuck to it and clogged everything up. What was he going to do? He couldn't think, so he started to panic. Just then, Mom looked out the window to see Sneaky Pete running back and forth, like he was afraid of something. She put the dogs up so they didn't see Pete having a problem and went outside to investigate. As she walked across the yard, she asked, "What's the matter, Petey? What happened?" Pete turned toward Mom with tears in his eyes and pointed to his mouth. Mom saw all the birdseed around Pete's mouth and laughed. Pete looked at her with an annoyed look on his face. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I see that you've gotten into the peanut butter I left out for the birds. Let's see what we can do to fix that." Mom gently lifted Pete and brought him over to the dog's water bowl. She carefully started rinsing Pete's face with the water until the birdseed had cleared away from his mouth and she could see his teeth. "I think this'll do the trick," she said. "Try to open your mouth." She set Pete on the ground. Pete could still taste the peanut butter. That's what that stuff was. But gently tried to open his mouth. It worked! He was able to open his mouth wide. He was so happy. "Oh good," said Mom. "I guess you're all set. Just stay away from the peanut butter if you're going to eat birdseed, Petey." Before Pete turned to go, he looked at Mom in the eyes and gave her a big smile of thanks. "You're welcome," said Mom. Now free, Pete scampered back to his treehouse to figure how he could eat that peanut butter and the seed and not get his mouth stuck again. Sneaky Pete will never learn. This is Grandma Lori. Thanks for joining me.